Hello and welcome back. What you just saw is how we establish a vehicle of discovery. Now, it's that feeling of if it's happened over here, then maybe it can happen over there. And now you can watch Todd as he helps Martin to uncover some important specifics that lead him down this road.
So you took a right turn to see the world's largest slice of pie. And you got there, you said that was the most amazing slice of pie I've ever seen. How do you get back? How do you get back to your route?
Well, that is in a way the challenge, because how do you get back in a way that makes sense and that doesn't take you so off track
Yeah.
that, if you're speaking about an audience, that your audience isn't going, what the?
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, keep me on the road. Keep me on the road here because we're going to transition to the stage in just a minute.
Okay.
But keep me on the road. How do you've seen the world's largest slice of pie? How do you get back to where you want to go? You said it's
Okay.
interesting because you don't want to go around that takes you further. How do you get back to your original route?
That is a really good question. And what just kind of occurred to me is what I do is I'll turn around and literally double back. So you're covering that same distance twice, except the first time it's novel, it's surprising, you're discovering things. The second time you're going there, oh, I got to go this way to get back. And that's a really good one. That might be that point in the tangent that it's too long. It's the road back is too long
Okay.
because I don't know if maybe I've gone too far or I've waited too long or I haven't figured out how to make that road back as interesting as the road there. And that's on me.
So almost you don't want to go on so far of an adventure that you might get lost going back.
Yeah. And
Okay,
my
that's a
sense of direction's bad
okay.
anyway, except in malls. So yeah, there's a good
Yeah,
chance.
because they're in a circle. Yeah. Okay. But I like that. You don't want to go so far that you might get lost coming back.
Yeah.
How else? So take me back to the world's largest slice of pie. What else are you thinking about? And how do I get back to the main road? Is there anything else?
Yeah, maybe it could be, do I need to get back? Or if I keep going in this direction, can I go somewhere else and still get to the same place ultimately? Like, will the roads converge somewhere?
Okay.
Of course, they won't, likely.
Yeah. Yeah, but are you saying that also you can kind of you can trust yourself in that moment to like I'm gonna find it may be a new destination, but I'm capable of I'm capable of getting the car to a good place.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. Okay, okay. I'd like to show you a couple things here,
Okay.
and here's just a couple of the notes here,
Yeah.
and this is just what you talked about on on impulse. First off, is like I'm going to go off on that tangent. If I'm just trusting my gut, it's like
Hmm.
I think I know, but it also drew you to the danger of not knowing,
Yeah.
and it was also the thrill of the element of surprise of hey, I've
Yes.
been down this highway so many times. Ooh, what might I discover in this situation? There's this element of novelty that's
Yeah.
also really exciting. So, but then you talked about getting back, and I will turn around and just double back. That speaks to something. I don't want to go so far that you might get lost getting back. And I like what you said. Now, do I need to get back that same way? Or are we on a new adventure? And this belief I'm capable of getting the car to a good place. Okay. So,
Okay, so that part kind of got me.
okay, talk to me about that. Talk to me about it.
The idea of needing to get back and the whole idea of going on a new adventure. And I guess the risks involved in that, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
everything suddenly becomes a question mark or an
Uh-huh.
unknown
Yeah.
if you go this different way rather than something that's tried and true. So on one level, your eyes or your pupils keep getting bigger and bigger and bigger as you go down this route. On the other level, you're going, whoa, wait a minute. I don't want them to explode either. I've got to pull this back. So how do I pull that? How do I get that into balance?
Yeah. Can I mirror some things back to you really quickly?
Yes.
When you first stated the problem, I felt anxiety over, I saw anxiety over. I get on this tangent, I'm lost. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know how to get back. And I heard a fear of leaving the original road.
Yes.
But then when we talked about Winnipeg, there is adventure in leaving the real
Oh, yeah,
road.
because I wanted to get out of there. With all due respect to
All
everyone who
due
lives.
respect. All due respect. Well, and you'd say when you're driving, you're an expert at drive. You're an expert at finding those adventures. You're an expert, would you say, at getting the car to a new and valuable destination. Would you agree with that?
I don't know if I would say I'm an expert at getting them to a valuable destination. New, yes.
New?
Valuable, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Valuable, then,
But that's part of the adventure. But
yeah. Sometimes it is.
to a safe place.
Yeah,
You're good at getting into a safe place.
yeah,
Now, if I can go young speaker versus old speaker, young
yeah,
speaker, man, you've got to get your notes, you've got to get your path. And if you deviate from it, you're really not sure if you're going to be able to if you're going off on a good path. Would that be fair?
yeah,
Like a young authority, like you
yeah,
may go off on an adventure, but are you going to say something sound?
yeah.
Now, are you past that point?
Oh, I think so. I think by the color of my hair, you can see I'm a little past that point. And yet, um, being able to capture some of that novelty or that newness,
Yeah.
if that's even a word, or the fact that you you haven't seen something, you're learning something different or learning something new, and I guess that's part of being. When we're younger, typically we were always learning, and when we're older, it's like, oh, I know, do this and that. So how can I keep learning? And maybe that's part of the whole going off on a tangent too. How can I learn something in addition to?
Yeah, right. Absolutely. You tell me, and I want to echo back to you, but when you said I'm capable of getting that car to a good place,
Yeah.
would it also be true that you're capable of getting a talk to a new place? That you may just discover something interesting, and if you don't, it's probably also okay.
That is interesting. So not feeling that I have to constantly come back to, I want to say script, even though it's not written.
Right.
It's more of a talk because it's been done a number of times, but coming back to that slide so I can go click next, click next,
Yeah.
click.
Yeah.
So maybe
Yeah.
the
I almost
PowerPoint is
nodded.
the,
Man, Deirdre, how about that? That was a fun adventure that I was on there with Martin.
Yes, it was. And I really like how you keep him on the road and you opened him up to new discovery about what it means to get back. He realized that there are other options. Todd, walk me through that process because it's a fine line between the new discovery and a little bit of that danger zone.
It was. I think the path we were on was a shift in beliefs that gave permission. The early belief was that if I go off on a wild tangent, people are going to. I don't have permission to do that. because people are going to judge me according, like I don't know where I'm going. But there was a shift of, and you saw it in his face, of a new belief of, you know what, I can get a car into a safe place. I can get a talk also into a safe place.
Yeah.
And when we looked at the notes, he's like, I felt that one.
He did. You could see it on his face. He felt it. And I also liked how he realized he's learning too. So as he's teaching others this new road and he's going to get back to a safe place, that it's not the same old click next, that he can go and trust himself.
And that was a big discovery moment of just stating the obvious. A lot of times this breakthrough comes from just stating the obvious in a way that they can go, oh yeah, I choose choice A versus B, hands down, every time. So like when I said when I paralleled the young speaker, are you that young speaker? Well, no. And then he's like, oh, so I can do this. And it's like,
Yeah.
I felt something shift in that moment.
Well, there was definitely a shift in that moment. You could see it all over his face. And I think he's going to reevaluate what that getting back means. It's not doubling back. You don't have to go over what you did before. Permission is together. He's finding permission from the people that he's sharing with, but he's also giving himself permission. Did you see that too?
I absolutely did. And we're going to see so much more of it even. I think we're just at the tip. In fact, I know we're just at the tip of the iceberg on this conversation. You can actually visibly see him connecting the dots, going, oh, oh, oh. I mean, you can read his face just like you're reading a map. And we're now beginning to go in a new direction.
Well, I can't wait to see what Martin discovers and when he uncovers the new direction and just continues on this path.
All right, everybody, stick with us. We got more in this conversation right after this.